Hey guys, Stuart Charles here, HomeStudioBasics.com, helping you make sound decisions. Sorry it's been a week. So, today we're going to talk about the iFi xDSD Headphone Amp DAC. And we have quite a bit to talk about today, so let's get right into it. So, what's in the box? With the xDSD you're getting an amp DAC, I hope so, a velvet carrying pouch, an OTG cable with USB-B port, a USB-A to USB-B converter, a short micro USB charging cable, a 3.5mm optical adapter, 4 Velcro strips, one for your phone and the other 3 attached to the bottom of the unit in the ridges on the bottom. Then you simply attach both and you've got a nice portable setup for on-the-go listening. Last but not least, it comes with instruction cards. Now, the only gripe I had was that it does not come with an OTG cable for Android. It's an extra $15 if you want to pair it with your phone. If your phone isn't aptX compatible, which mine isn't, you're going to have to get the separate OTG cable for the Android, as there's no real other way to hook it up. I guess some would say that it's not really a big deal since you already spent that much, but my thing is like, I want everything to be included already. Like, I don't have to want to
strike that. Reverse it.
I don't want to have to buy like anything separate. So if your phone is aptX compatible, you can use it wireless Bluetooth, which is pretty cool. With that out of the way, let's get into build quality. Now, the build on the xDSD is pretty good. You know, I read other people said they loved it. I really didn't like it as much as others. I thought that the unit was a little bit on the cheap side feeling in my hand. I was expecting it to be a lot more substantial than it was. It's kind of plasticky. It's got a magnesium aluminum finish, which is nice, but it gathers fingerprints with reckless abandon, and so that's another minor nitpick gripe that I have. You can easily just wipe it with your shirt or something else, or the velvet carrying pouch that it comes with. I don't know why they made it so fingerprints happy. The back of the unit is matte black, which matches pretty well with the bottom rubber feet. So you won't have to worry too much about this moving around your desk. Build overall, I mean, it's all right. It's not. I just was expecting it to feel a little bit more heavy. Build score, I'd probably give it A-. So features: wireless Bluetooth if you have an aptX compatible phone. It supports MQA, master quality authenticated, which goes really well with Tidal. So this unit does very well paired with that. I do have to say I was experiencing dropouts and static from time to time in the beginning when I first got the unit, but I figured out that it wasn't the xDSD, and I sent an email over to Lawrence, one of the reps. I was happy to report that the same issue was happening with other amps and DACs, so I'm thinking it's something with Tidal. I really have no idea. It's kind of irritating. It's also got the 3D soundstage feature as well as an X-Bass Plus. Really liked both of these. The soundstage feature is really good and opens up headphones like the HD600, but we'll get into that a bit more later. The volume knob obviously supports DSD. It doubles as a power button, so you just basically hold it until the unit comes on. It lights up different colors according to which format you're in, and I will leave a link down below you can read. Also, the rotary volume knob lights up different colors according to the volume level that you're at as well, and again, you can find out all about that below. The battery lasts for about 6 to 8 hours, which is another minor complaint I have. I just don't think I was finding myself having to recharge a lot more than I would have liked, and this is something to keep in mind with units like this, as well as the Cord Mojo. They're just, I mean, if you treat it like charging your phone, it shouldn't be that big of an issue, but with as much gaming and music listening as I do, I found that there were times when I wanted to listen to music or game and I couldn't because it was dead and I forgot to recharge it. So part of that's on me, but part of it's just, I don't know. 6 to 8 hours is not a lot, in my opinion. Flashing green means it's awaiting source. Solid green means it's wired, it's connected with a wire. The red and blue cycle means wireless Bluetooth pairing is in progress. Now, this is another interesting thing that happened to me. I was trying to do one last test run with it. I've been demoing it for a few months now, a couple months, and I wanted to do one last listening session last night, and I couldn't do it because it was stuck on the red-blue cycle, and I have no idea. I restarted my phone, I disabled Bluetooth on my phone, so something really wonky happened. It's in like this weird feedback loop where it's just like it wigged out, and I don't know. I restarted the unit a bunch of times, so I really don't know what that's all about. Yeah, other than that small issue in this last day, I had no issues with the unit at all over the last couple months. Lastly, if it's solid blue, it means it is on wireless mode. So for the bass boost and soundstage switch, there's two LEDs on the right hand side next to the rotary knob and one button. So press once for bass, twice for 3D plus, and a third time to enable both. A fourth press turns them all off. So on the front panel, there's a 3.5 millimeter / line output. This utilizes 3.5 millimeter TRRS and TRS. On the rear panel, we've got SPDIF and optical. Just use a supplied adapter for gaming. So there's this little piece that you plug into the SPDIF switch, and then you can plug a optical cable into that, and then you can use it and plug it into your PS4 for gaming. Really awesome. Quick note, I love the fact that I could just plug the unit into the PS4 and not have to do anything else. I literally fired up the PlayStation and there was sound in my ears. Normally, like with the Audio Engine D1, the Objective 2 paired with a DAC Magic 100, for both of those I had to go into the sound settings and tinker with it a bit. But for this, I just literally plugged it in and I was ready to go. So, perfect gaming unit, in my opinion. Sound is incredible. Other inputs on the rear panel are USB-A, pretty standard for your PC, and micro USB. And this is for charging only, I read. So as far as ergonomics are concerned, very efficient, very powerful amp. It outputs 500 milliwatts at 16 ohms, 270 milliwatts at 50 ohm, 48 milliwatts at 300 ohm. Now for reference sake, the HD600 requires 20, so that's plenty at 300 ohms. That's a 300 ohm headphone with 97 decibels sensitivity, so not too efficient. But this unit powers pretty much anything with ease, so you won't have to worry. I'd even feel comfortable driving a 600 ohm AKG K240 with it at 91 decibel sensitivity. Most AKGs and hi-fi mans are very inefficient, but this unit as well as the Black Label will do just fine with both. It's got way more power than you'd ever need. The Black Label obviously has more, but I think, if I remember correctly, output impedance here is less than 2 ohms, so that's pretty good. Lower the better. I'll link an article about what is output impedance. Very, very efficient amp, very clean, low distortion. Yeah, the sound is really, really good. I would say the overall vibe I got was detail and clarity mixed with some warmth. It struck a nice balance of not being too overly clinical and not overly warm like something you get out of a tube amp. An interesting comparison is this xDSD versus the Mojo. I found the Mojo to be it had a little bit more of a warmer tilt to it, but still very detailed. This one is a little bit more sterile, a little bit more clinical. Clinical, sterile, I'm just saying that just the music is more, there's more clarity to it. I'd liken it to something like listening to an HD650 versus listening to an HD600. The 650 is a little bit warmer and relaxing, while the HD600 is snappier. Thanks, Tile. I love that word. I use it all the time. Crisp and clear. Just basically that's it. So the 3D Plus feature is something that I really, really love about iFi products. And especially with the HD600, it provides just a really nice soundstage. The HD600 on its own, as you know, has a narrow image. Things sort of tend to get, I don't know, like crushed inward a little bit more than I'd like. But with that switch, you can just, it opens things up, gives it a nice air, more clarity, more room to breathe and express itself. Now, I found that the HD650 without the 3D switch, it does have a bit better of a soundstage than the HD600, and I found it to be more immersive. I was more involved and immersed in the gaming environment when I was playing, and I could hear sound spaced out a lot better. It manifests more in gaming than it does with music, but still, I would never recommend an HD600 for gaming, but an HD650 does surprisingly well, a lot better than I thought. Yeah, final grade, A-. It's not without its shortcomings, namely the lack of an OTG cable included for phone, charge time in my opinion, and some other minor nitpicks like the fingerprint issue, and strangely unsatisfying build when you hold it in your hand. I just wanted it to be a little bit heavier, and it's kind of ridiculous, but those things combined do dock a bit of points off for this unit. But overall, I absolutely love that I can plug and play for gaming without having to do anything else. It sounds amazing, has plenty of features, lots of power, and supports wireless Bluetooth as long as you have a phone that supports aptX. It's also MQA supported and works wonderfully with Tidal. And that's all I got, folks. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my growing channel. Let me know what I can do to improve. Let me know what I do well. And with that, I don't have any pants on.